Have you ever walked into a room and immediately felt calmer, or walked into a room and immediately felt chaotic? You walk into your bedroom and laundry is everywhere. Things are on the floor, things are on the ceiling, things are on your nightstand. Everything is just everywhere. You look at your computer desk and there's paper on your computer desk. There's clothes on your computer chair. And before you even started your day, you already feel behind. We spend so much time trying to change ourselves, our routine, our habits, our mindset, but we rarely stop to ask, what if the space we're living in is quietly shaping the person that we're trying to become? Today's conversation is something I've really been excited to talk about. And honestly, it changed the way I think about my home, my habits, and even my personal growth. Hey everyone, welcome back to the CEO of Me. If you're new here, welcome. If you've been here before, you know I'm Angelica. This podcast is for women who are wanting to change their lives, to be in control of their lives, their future, and most importantly, their decisions. So let's get into it. I've been really excited for this episode. I'm speaking with Miss Yvette today, and we're gonna be talking about your space, how it affects your growth, everything just about your home and your space, and how it can affect the way that you live your life and how you just want to change your life. So we're going to get into it. Hello, Miss Yvette.
Hi, Angelica. I'm so happy to be here.
I'm so
I've
happy.
been looking forward for this too.
I've been looking forward for this too, because what we're talking about today is just such a deeper topic that I feel like a lot of people don't talk about. And I'm so excited we're talking about it from a skilled professional. So let's get to know Yvette. Tell me about Yvette. For the people who don't know who you are, who is Yvette?
So people know me as, well, hello, I'm Yvette Justina. I go by Yvette Justina. People know me in short. I am a certified personal trainer. I am a wellness coach, and I'm also an interior designer.
Ooh.
But to me, I can kind of seem like those are all like very different things.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, I'm someone who helps people with transformation. When it comes to their environment, when it comes to themselves.
Yeah.
And I'm just someone who I always say is obsessed with sustainable foundations.
I love that.
And I help people with sustainable foundations both throughout their home as well as their health and well-being.
Amazing. That foundation is necessary to transform anything.
Yes.
So how did you get into all of that? Let's start with the first one. Was a personal training was the first, or was interior designing? Like, how did you kind of get into this whole wellness spectrum? Because I feel like not only are you called to it, but it's something that's probably been in your heart for a long time. And yes. You just kind of was like, okay, now's the time. Like, I can't ignore this voice in my head.
Mm-hmm. So when it comes to design and homes, I always say I'm living my what do you want to be when you grow up dream.
I love that.
I
love that.
I have always been obsessed with homes, with spaces. Mm-hmm. Even when I was younger, always asking my mom, can I rearrange my furniture?
Yeah.
Can I hang things up? Can I do this?
Were you the one that always changed your furniture like every couple months? Moved it around?
Always moved it around. I was always decorating things differently, always changing it up.
Yeah.
We didn't have a lot of money growing up, but I'd be like, can we go to, like a Goodwill or something? Can I get things? Can I pull this out of your room? My mom's like, what'd you do with my stuff that was in there?
Where'd you take my lamp?
It's in my room.
Where's my lamp?
Moved around.
Yeah.
And I look at that now in perspective of, I was always trying to create a home for myself, a space for myself. I moved a lot when I was younger. I mean, I went to literally like 12 different schools.
Wow.
I was always the new girl. I was always shifting around. And so I was always, and I didn't know it then, but I was always trying to just create a safe space for myself.
Yeah. It's a space that you're comfortable in, something that's yours.
Yes.
Yes.
And there was this assignment that we had to do. I think it was like 4th grade, and I grew up in the 90s.
Okay.
So it was this assignment that one of my teachers gave us, and they said, I want you to write about who, inspires your life, who is your hero and things like that. And again, I grew up in the 90s, so everybody was writing about Michael Jordan.
Of course.
Their mom.
TLC.
Things like that.
Yeah.
I wrote about Martha Stewart.
That is amazing. I love
I
that.
wrote about Martha Stewart. I was obsessed with her.
I love love Martha. She is so iconic and just
so
her
iconic.
everything that she did. I mean, I used to watch her cooking shows, and then she got into interior designing, right? Like, but she started with cooking.
Everything with home.
Everything with home.
Everything happens to do with home,
Yes.
creating spaces,
Yes.
entertaining.
Yep.
Was mainly her thing.
That was her thing.
Yes,
She loved
just
hosting.
making things beautiful.
Yes,
Everything
yes,
that
yes.
she touched.
Yes.
And I was obsessed with it.
What a fun memory.
I know. And so I just grew up just loving homes. I'm like, I just want to decorate. I just want to be an interior designer,
Yeah.
all of these things. So early on, I just knew that I loved anything that had to do with the home,
Yeah.
creating beautiful spaces, making people just feel good. 'Cause
Yeah.
that's essentially what Martha does.
That's who Martha is. That
That's
is
who
her
Martha
brand.
is,
Yes,
and I
that's
loved
her brand.
Fast forward years later, it was always something that I loved, always something that I was just naturally really good at.
Yeah.
And as I got older, life went on.
Yep.
I lived kind of a crazy life early on.
That's okay.
I got into, drugs and this crazy thing, and kind of all my dreams went out the window.
Right.
And I just needed to focus on getting clean
Yeah.
and surviving.
Absolutely.
And so when I was 28, I moved out of Vegas. This is my hometown, born and raised. I moved out of Vegas and moved to Arkansas, out of all places.
Nice. Okay, I like the Midwest.
Yes.
We're from St. Louis, so
Oh,
I
really?
like. We went to Arkansas all the time for vacation.
Yes, Northwest Arkansas is where I moved to.
Cute.
And it was a desperate attempt to change my environment to save my life, right?
Wow.
So I had just recently got clean, recently divorced, things like that. And so I moved to where my father and my sister were, and I started to come back to myself and rebuild my life. And there is where I found fitness and wellness,
Wow.
because I started working out as a relapse prevention tool to just keep my mind busy.
Absolutely.
And it gave me a better understanding of myself. It gave me self-worth. It gave me discipline, all of these things. And so that's how I got into fitness and wellness.
Wow.
And with all of that being said, I really came out of a crazy life and survived all these things. So I said, why not actually chase my dreams?
Why not? What do you have to lose at this point? You just went through the worst.
I just went through the worst.
Yeah.
Anything is possible now. I
Yeah.
have this time and a space, so it's time to get back into my purpose and what I love.
Yeah.
And so I enrolled myself in school for
Amazing.
interior design. And I also went after getting my certification for personal training.
Amazing.
And long story short, I started to just blend the two. And, in school, you learn about the effects of color psychology, the effects that our environments have on our daily behaviors,
Yes.
our well-being, and things like that. And so
Absolutely.
I decided to fuse the two and see that they really weren't that different.
They're not that different. They're very alike. Wellness, fitness, your home. I can see how they align so perfectly. And when you were in your interior designing school, like, I feel like a lot of times we have these dreams and then you get into school and it kind of gives you even more of an excitement about the field that you're going to get into. When you were in interior designing school, what were some things that made you really excited about getting out and applying it? Or what made you kind of be like, also like, yeah, this is a bit much? Because they go intricate in school.
It's a lot.
It's very intricate.
Yes. So what I've learned is through design, you either have the eye for design or you don't.
Right.
It cannot be taught.
It can't be taught. I agree.
I've gone to school with people, and I know people who, have interior design degrees and they don't use it because it's just like they have the knowledge, but they just don't have it.
They don't have it.
And so what I learned is training the design eye, could be challenging, but it was very exciting.
Yeah.
And one of the things that was probably, and still to this day, the most can be frustrating and the most challenging is, spatial planning for floor planning.
Absolutely.
Architectural designs.
Oh my God, the math that goes into it.
The amount of math that goes into it. But it's
What?
honestly, at the end of the day, my favorite part.
Yeah.
Because earlier, like I said, the foundations. I can make a space as beautiful as I want, but
Yeah.
if it doesn't flow right.
Right.
If it
Feng
doesn't fit right, if
shui.
it doesn't function right.
Yes.
Space isn't right. So that early on foundational design of making sure everything fits the space, making sure that it's my favorite part.
Yeah.
Kind
But
of.
was that the most challenging at first?
Yes.
And then you were like,
yes,
I love it.
because you're like, wait, all this science. I just want to make things pretty.
Measurements, lines, lasers,
all of the science.
like
and then
all the
you have
things.
to know all the, there's basics for everything in terms
Yeah.
of code and how big windows, how standard windows should be, how standard heights of, how far lights need to be, hang.
Gosh.
Like I know traffic waste spaces and things like that. Like there's a law to this. There's a lot of math and numbers behind it, and it was like, oh,
this is a lot. Get me out of here.
Yeah.
That is a lot.
It's fun.
I'm glad you found the fun in it.
Yeah.
You found the fun in the numbers and the science.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. That is so awesome. If someone walked into your home today, what would they immediately learn about you?
That I prioritize comfort and peace.
Okay.
I do. Inviting, big cushions,
Yes.
lots of layers. I got books. It smells good. The music is on. Ambiance. Just that overall feel of peace.
That's amazing. When you were in interior designing school, did they touch on? Of course, they talked on the effects of colors, like you said, and the feng shui and the layout. But did they talk about the wellness side of it? Was that ever a thing about like placing certain things in certain areas to make you feel a certain way?
Yes, like green design in particular. Not really the way that I like to think of it as more. I like to look at as it now more of like holistic home, and I go a little because I'm an intuitive. I go a little doo-woo with it.
Yeah.
But in school, you learn, about green design, certain fabrics that are good for the environment, certain biophilic design of bringing the greenery in and things like that,
Yes.
certain lighting and stuff. So they do touch about, what's good for the planet, what's good for spaces,
and
things like that.
I feel like adding plants just really elevates a space. Elevates a space so much more than I don't remember getting plants when I was younger, like in college years.
No.
Like I don't remember having plants anywhere. But now as an adult, I'm like, this feels nice.
It feels so good. And they're really good for homes. Some certain plants, they purify, they bring certain energies and things like that.
Yeah.
It's really unfortunate because I do not have a green thumb at all.
Girl, it's hit or
I
miss
cannot
for
keep
me.
anything alive. I can barely keep myself alive.
Me
I
too.
cannot keep a plant alive to
There's no
save
way.
my life.
They're hard.
It's
They're
so hard.
They're hard, especially even the ones that say water weekly. I'm like, but on what day?
But-
Like, what day do I water it on? You say weekly, when do
What
I know?
day?
Yeah, like
how much water?
How much
warm water, cool water,
ice water?
ice water.
What
ice
water? Filtered? Do I need filtered?
Filtered tap.
Alkaline. Like it just gets too much, and they don't put that much information on the
No.
label, so they're like, figure it out.
No.
And I figured some of them out. Some of them are easier, like Birds of Paradise. Those are pretty easy, and I think that's the only name I know. So
Yeah.
the other ones, there's so many plants. There's so many plants.
There's so many plants. And growing up here in Vegas, I went and lived in Florida for a while. I got there and there's
What
just
part?
so many. Tampa.
Beautiful.
Love.
Cute. Very cute.
There's just so many different like trees and,
Yeah.
and plants, and everybody just knew all the names. I'm
They
like, how do you
did.
guys?
They were raised.
How
on
do you
plants.
guys know all these plants?
I don't know when they learned them. They probably learned them in middle school. They learned
100%. I'm like,
'cause
oh, I don't have plants.
we don't even. I don't even see a cactus. That would be cool to see a
No.
little cactus here and there, but
Yeah.
we don't even see that.
We don't even see that.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy. But bringing the green in is necessary. I've learned.
necessary.
So you did at the designing school, and then you got into fitness. Let's talk. Was that before? Was the fitness before?
So I got my personal training certification while I was in school.
Okay, very cool.
And I deeply, deeply fell in love with wellness.
Really?
And it was just like, this is my calling.
Yeah.
This is what and because it changed my life so much.
And you basing it literally off of your own life, which is the best testimony ever.
Yes.
And I feel like that is when you've reached that. I don't know if it's a climax or that point of your life where you're like, everything is making sense because you loved it, because it changed your life. And now you're feeding that same energy into someone else who's trying to change their life with their fitness, because it changes so much about you.
It changes so much about you.
Yeah.
And the thing is, a lot of people like get into fitness,
Yeah.
get into working out and eating a certain way, for aesthetic reasons.
Totally.
And
It starts that way.
It starts that
It does
way.
start
And
that way
I
sometimes.
kind of like went into it like opposite.
Yeah.
I was just like, I just need something. And I had no idea the impact it was going to have on my life.
Right.
I moved to Arkansas with a crazy past, didn't have any jobs, no one would hire me. I was trying to like build a life here and not come back here to the old life I was living.
Yeah.
And it was hard for me to build a life there because again, like everybody's like, where's your job history? What have you been doing?
Right.
And I'm like, I've been on the street.
Yeah, I've been trapping, okay?
And literally. And the only place that would hire me was a gym.
Oh, wow.
I got a part-time gig at the front desk and doing childcare, which if you knew me is hilarious.
That's so funny.
It's the only job I could get, and I said, I'll take it.
Yeah.
And everyone I knew, they're like, you are going to
work with kids
at a gym. And I didn't work out. Like, I could care less.
Right.
And I did the front desk, and I got a job, and I wasn't even working out. And I remember the owner was like, you get to work out here for free. You could take classes and things like that. And I'm like,
this is just a job. I'm just here to work.
Slowly, I started working out, and I said,
Wow.
I need something to keep my mind busy. I started working out, and I learned so much about myself.
Yeah.
I started to build pride for myself.
Yes.
I was really lacking in self-love. I was really lacking in confidence, in connection with myself, and it connected me with my body, and it just completely took me down. Like, getting off of drugs and moving out of cities is one thing. That's the easy part, honestly.
Okay.
And it's hard as hell. But facing everyday life sober, facing, your emotions.
Especially the same city.
And all of this is a completely different story.
Absolutely.
And learning yourself and coming home to yourself is what fitness and wellness and caring for myself did.
Yeah.
And it completely shifted for me. And what I was obsessed with was I want people to see that it's not just about looking a certain way.
No, it's not.
I want to show and guide women to see that you can transform your life through caring for yourself, through what I call coming back home.
Coming back home. I love that. The transformation is to come back to yourself, find yourself, and really push yourself, because I feel like, especially coming out of addiction or coming out of any traumatic life situation, the last thing you think about is working out. For most people, they're not thinking about going to the gym. Like you said, it's about survival. And so I feel like you putting that little piece of like, this is time to yourself, no one else's time, is probably really beneficial to your clients. And I would love to hear how some of your clients have changed their lives, whatever you feel comfortable sharing, like some clients that have changed their lives from you. That's not necessarily like, teaching them how to go to the gym, but kind of showing them like by example, the importance of being consistent in the gym. Like, is there some clients that you've worked with recently that really had a big transformation that you can share?
Yes, absolutely. I've had many clients have transformations, but what I am most proud of, let me think. In particular, I've had a client who's been dieting her whole life. She grew up around just diet speak, like, being very overly self-aware of what she put in her body, how she ate around people. She would be stressed out about having lunch with her girlfriends or parties, thinking about like the food situation, not wanting to go.
Oh, yeah.
And she just grew up around a mom and aunts who were always dieting, were always weighing themselves.
I was just about to say,
commenting on her body.
It was women in her life that programmed her.
And shifting that perspective and actually like creating a healthy relationship with food, with working out, and separating that from your self-worth.
Yes. Wow.
I'm extremely, extremely proud of her.
Yeah, that's hard to unprogram your brain.
Yes.
That's extremely hard.
Yes, especially as women, especially when we've been just brought up in a world of that.
Yeah.
All of the women around us. It's really hard not to attach that and have an unhealthy relationship with food, which so many people do.
So many people do. I mean, there's so much unfortunate, like these ideas of how much you're supposed to eat, what you're supposed to look like. And I feel that especially if you were raised that way, it makes it even harder to get that out of your mind, especially when all the women in your life is like that. And then you start meeting friends that are probably like that too. That's very common for women to have the older women in our lives talk down to you and tell you, oh, you're not supposed to eat this, you're supposed to be this way. Especially back in the 90s, 80s, 90s, when being skinny was like the cool thing. Being a pencil was like in.
It was.
So that's impressive, and that's so amazing that you were able to change that mindset for her. Good for her. I can't even imagine like what that feels like to have a bad relationship with food. Like every time you eat something, you're like, oh, this is
I know.
I'm gonna gain 5 pounds from this, or
Yeah.
not wanting to eat around your friends, or not going to brunch or
Yeah.
dinners because you're concerned that they're gonna think you eat too much or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And just small things, everybody has different goals.
Yes.
And, for her, like going somewhere and having an ice cream without like totally punishing herself in the gym the
Yeah.
next day is a huge win. Like I went and I got what I wanted. I didn't overeat.
Yeah.
She also had a history of like bulimia. And so it's just beautiful to help guide
That's
people in
beautiful.
that way.
That's the transformation. Coming back home.
Coming back home.
I love that saying. That is so deep because we lose ourselves in life. It's so
do.
easy to get lost, sidetracked, and you forget who the heck you are. You forget what you're doing, where you're going. And I really feel like the gym can get you back to center because, like you said, you build up that self-confidence, that self-love. It's all in the gym. If you don't have self-love, gym is
Baby,
a great
you don't
way.
find it in the gym.
You can find it in the gym. That's one way for sure.
That's one way for sure.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's go back talking about spaces and some of the spaces you've designed. Let's talk about some spaces you've designed recently. Obviously, I wish I could see them, but like I wish everyone could see them. But like, give me some ideas of like before and after, some things that you changed in someone's life that greatly impacted their growth or their overall feeling in their home.
So I recently had someone who worked from home. And I feel like after COVID, especially when so many people were working from home, so many people realized like how unaligned their spaces were with themselves. Because they had to stay there as there.
All day. And literally
And
all
like,
day, every day.
I hate it here.
I hate it here. Why do I hate it here? Why do I want to get a divorce? Like,
I hate it here.
Yeah.
Right. But she works from home. She travels a lot.
Ooh.
And she wanted, to reflect her space into her career path. You know, she still felt like she had kind of like a college vibe, like I'm a young girl. She wanted a big girl home.
Okay.
Right? And she definitely deserved it because her job, her job has changed, her money has changed, her finances have changed, all of these things.
Everything changed.
So aside from obviously upgrading the aesthetic, what I like to give like a lifestyle questionnaire. I also found out that she is going through a lot of inner transformation, a lot of inner change. And we created a sacred space, which I think every single house should have.
Tell me about it. What is
like we all have, we have a space to eat. We have a space to do this. We have a space to use the restroom, to sit and watch TV, to sleep. But where is our sacred space? Where is the space that promotes and supports ritual? Whether it be a reading nook, somewhere that you can lay your yoga mat out. That's such a huge part of our life and who are we becoming. So where is your sacred space? A space just dedicated to enriching your life, to aligning you with your next version.
Yes.
And so we created a space for her like that, that had, she'd like to collect stones and things like that. She also loved to collect things from her travels, and so we made a collage and all of these things, and we made it to where it was accessible to just wake up, be easy, and again come back home to yourself. I'm gonna sit in this space, and when I'm in this space, I have these certain scents here. I can put this on, and it's dedicated to growth.
Yep. That's
and I
beautiful.
think that is missing in a lot of people's homes.
Absolutely. They don't have that space that's just
Whether
theirs.
just be a corner,
a
room,
closet.
Yes.
A closet.
A closet.
Especially a lot of religious homes. Yeah. They have that,
They do.
They have the sacred closet, the corner, the room.
They do.
Yes.
I recently did, probably last year, a home for someone, and they had like a prayer room, but it was also a conversation room, a sitting room.
Beautiful.
Where people came and they had Bible, they were Mormon and things like that, and we did a beautiful artwork of the church.
Yes.
And it was just a space dedicated to and how we thought about coming together and having not only conversation but coming together in their religious practice.
Yes, that is so important.
I've also done full meditation spaces, but it doesn't have to be all of that.
It doesn't have to be all of that. I agree. A corner of whatever dedicated space that you can come to, have your music, set the tone. Was this lady, did she live by herself?
By herself,
Okay,
yes.
so that makes the space a lot easier, I'm sure, to design.
Yes,
okay.
absolutely,
Yes.
by herself.
That makes it so much easier.
Yes. And our behaviors are shaped a lot by our environment.
Absolutely.
Whether you want to believe it or not, not
Let's
just
get
in
into
your
it.
home, but
Yes.
when you're outside,
Yes.
people are designing around you to get you to act a certain way. Whether it be in retail shops, things like that. Like the psychology is everywhere. So
It's
environment,
everywhere.
the way you
Yes.
drive home, the colors that you're seeing of fast food places, like everything is designed in a way to get you to act a certain way, to be a certain way.
And make you feel something.
Yes. So
Yep.
why aren't we implementing that in our own homes for ourselves?
Absolutely.
Because this environment we can control.
We can
can't
control
what's out there.
Absolutely.
And your habits are going to be shaped by your environment.
Absolutely.
Period. Your behaviors and things like that.
Yep.
So when certain things are more accessible, so when it's easy to wake up, sit in your space, meditate, you're more likely to have that become a behavior,
Absolutely.
a habit, and then just eventually who you are. When you have books out, when healthy food is accessible, when your kitchen feels good to cook
Yep.
in, you're more likely for those behaviors to align with that environment.
That's so true. Absolutely.
If you have your journal out in sight, of course, if your home is cluttered and you can't get to your yoga mat and all of your workout clothes are hidden, you're not gonna go and reach for these things.
Right.
And so the way that your space is designed is a huge part of the impact and the habits that create and shape you.
I agree. I 100% agree. And it makes you feel either productive or not productive.
100%.
Like, especially if you go into your space, even if it's something that you created yourself and it feels cluttered or dark or, just gloomy. Like the inside of your house can feel gloomy and dark. And it doesn't make you want to do anything.
Yeah.
So I feel like clutter, in my opinion, is one of the biggest ways that makes you feel like not productive, makes you feel like you don't want to grow, kind of makes you feel stuck. Like you wake up in the morning and you already feel like behind. Like what are some other things that you've noticed in either just from your studies or in your work that makes a space feel not as productive or could be stunting someone's growth?
Lighting, 1,000%.
Lighting is, I agree. Lighting. I agree. Light therapy is a thing.
Yes.
Light therapy is a thing.
And even to get deeper into it, like our
Let's get deep.
circadian rhythms and
Yes.
and all of it, the time of days and things, but lighting impacts us so much.
It does.
So even if and like the high overhead lights, those can be overwhelming to people.
They can be.
But if you have calming lights, it really does register in your nervous system.
It does. It absolutely does.
And so aside from clutter and things like that, lighting is definitely one.
That's important. I didn't even realize that either till I started growing up as well. It's like how much lighting, natural lighting, in my opinion, is just one of my favorite ways of having light.
Yeah.
And especially here in Vegas, we have sunshine 90% of the year.
Yeah.
And just opening your blinds, that is my thing.
It makes you feel so much better.
It makes you feel so much better. That feeling first thing in the morning when you open your blinds, you're like, wow, another day.
I feel like a princess. Like the birds are chirping.
Me too, girl.
Like just waking up with nature. Just rising with the sun.
Rising with the sun.
Yes.
And like having, like you said, having your place to where you wake up, you get out of bed, you either put your slippers on or whatever. You have your routine, morning routines.
Yes.
Make a huge difference.
Absolutely.
Let's talk about how your space and your routine can affect your growth. Besides the clutter and the lighting, what are some other things? Let's say someone is watching this and they don't live alone and they can't necessarily control their space. How are some ways that you can tell someone to find their own space in the space if that's possible? Or, how do you change that for someone who isn't living alone? Because living alone, of course, thank God, is the best thing. It is the best thing, living alone. I swear by it.
And every girl who's got it.
Every girl needs to live alone.
You don't know life or yourself until you've lived alone.
You do not know life for yourself. You say that, girl. That is so true. And I try to push that so much because I feel, especially in your certain area of your life, your 30s, your 40s, like living alone just makes you just different. It makes you see yourself differently. It gives you a whole new set of habits. It shows how much you want to put in your home and how much you love being alone, honestly. That's what happens when you live alone. You realize how much you love being alone.
I
and
know,
how
it's scary.
Yes, it's scary. It's scary because you're like, I love my alone time. This is so fun. You know, that if anyone comes in, it has to be a whole process.
Especially a boy.
Especially a boy. Ew.
Ew. I can't believe we have to live with them.
I know. That's why I'm taking my time.
You want me to put a boy in my space?
You want me to put a boy in my space? Like, I think about that all the time. I'm like, if I lived with a guy, I would not have this.
No.
This wouldn't be here.
They always want to have an input too. But some of them
are cool. Some of them are cool. But like most of them, no, I would not be able to have the same thing. So what would you do or tell to someone that is living alone, that is feeling like they can't grow because their environment is just a cluster?
And they can't control it.
And they can't control it because they don't live alone.
So I always say you can't control what happens outside of you.
Right.
But you can always control what happens within you.
Absolutely.
So what are things that you can control that make you feel good?
Yes.
I'm always saying when it comes to design, at the base, how do you want to feel? That is going to be our guide.
Yeah.
It's going to be our internal compass for every single thing.
That's the first question.
You want to feel calm, if you want to feel creative, if you want to feel inspired, how do you want to feel in this space? So simple things like if you can't control your own space, you got kiddos running around, you got a partner who's always home because they work from home, things like that. What makes you feel good? What makes you feel happy? What is the overall feeling that you want to have?
Right.
Say, for instance, I want tranquility. Okay, what does this look like for you?
Right.
What colors do you think of? I think of blues, I think of the ocean, I think of movement. Okay, so like how can we bring that in?
Right.
Let's bring in certain textures.
Yes.
Let's bring in pictures maybe that remind you of water or whatever it is, certain wood tones to feel grounded.
Yeah.
And things like that. So let's focus on what we can control in that space so you can kind of have some control in the chaos.
Yeah.
But also we're going to talk about habit.
Yes.
You want to feel this certain way. How are you going to lay boundaries with your family? How are you going to align yourself with maybe waking up 5 minutes earlier to make your tea by yourself in your beautifully new designed kitchen and things like that.
Yes.
So it's also not only the physical things, but how are you going to align your habits and your practice to get what you have to get out of the day?
I agree.
You may not be able to get a full 2 hours or things like that,
Right.
but you can probably get a good 10 minutes to yourself, 5 minutes there.
Absolutely.
And how are we going to work around that? So the things that you can control.
Right, because you can make the space however pretty and whatever, but you have to intentionally make yourself get into that space and feel the space the way it's meant to be felt. Because
Exactly.
I think a lot of times, especially depending on the trauma we have, it's very easy for us to avoid opening up, if that makes sense. Or like, you just don't want to get to that point because it's almost like the fear of change that a lot of us have.
Yes.
You know, we're fearful of it. And so we just rather stay in the funk of our house and the clutter.
Yeah.
Because the other side, although we know it's going to be great, we know there's going to be a transition emotionally. And a lot of times we just don't want that, you know?
The unknown.
The unknown, the fear of the unknown. So I think that that's really powerful, that not only are you changing someone's space, but you're telling them also take this time for yourself to find that 5 minutes in the morning after you've made the kids lunch or whatever, to be to yourself. And I think that that is so beautiful because regardless of what part of life we're in and where we are, we always, as women, have to find our own time
100%.
to be with ourselves.
And I've dealt with so many families and so many people, and they're like, I have this beautiful space, but they never experience it.
Right.
Because they're just so hustle and bustle and things like that.
Yeah,
but
that's easy to do.
You're never going to be, you have to carve out time and carve out space. And create an aligned lifestyle to experience your home.
Absolutely. You pay so much for it.
You pay
Jeez Louise.
So
like, I'm like.
But a lot of the times it inspires people once their home is beautiful. Like now I do want to sit in my sitting room. Now I do want to sit in this chair that I never wanted to go into this corner.
Right.
So again, those things of changing your environment to align with the goals in your life.
Absolutely.
They just bounce off each other.
They bounce off each other.
When one happens, the other one naturally does. And that's
agree.
the beauty of a well-designed space.
I agree. That is the absolute beauty of a well-designed space. I feel that way when I walk into a well-designed space. I'm like, oh my God, you just feel connected to it immediately, or whatever messages they're trying to throw off, you feel it. I've always loved interior design too. I think it is so beautiful the way people put colors, fabrics, throw pillows. Don't get me started.
I
On the throw pillows. Do not get me started. Layers. Yep. That stuff just makes me go crazy. Okay, before we talk about the environment, I have one quick question. What is your favorite store, design store? Where do you go to? Like, you need one. Because I'm so curious now. I'm thinking of all the ones. I'm like, what's your favorite? There's so many, but like, what is one that is like Yvette?
That is so difficult.
I know.
Because
I know you pick from all of them, I'm sure, but there's one, I'm sure.
So I think about, like, are we talking about like accessories or furniture?
Let's do furniture. Let's do furniture first, because there's some good ones out there.
There's some good ones out there.
I know.
Is so hard.
We can come back to it.
Okay.
Let's come back to it. You have some time to think. Okay, so do you think we underestimate how much our environment influences us? Do you think people underestimate that?
I think our homes are simply the most underestimated key to our well-being. They are very underestimated. It is the most unutilized tool in self-growth.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. And why do you think that is? Why do you think people underestimate the home as a reliable source to their growth? Like, what do you think it is? Do you think it's just not something that you like? I mean, I don't know why you would consider it, but like, what do you think is that gap between people realizing how important their home is and not? Like, what do you think the gap is?
I think it's just a misunderstanding, and simply just like it is in fitness, or the unknowing.
Yeah.
Just like it is, same thing in fitness, is they just think it's for aesthetics.
Yeah.
And they don't truly understand the science of how it shapes you.
Right. It's more than just decorating.
It's so much more than just decorating. It's called design for a reason. We're curating, we're designing a life here.
Yes.
And I think it's just people just don't know about the energetics, about the color, they just don't. It's no fault of their own, but
right.
I also just think it's not something that is widely spoken about when it comes to well-being.
It's not widely spoken about. It's not talked about even growing up in your childhood. You know, you don't really talk about why your mom used this color for your bedding or whatever, you know, like those things aren't talked about at all. And so I feel like a lot of times you just grow up just kind of putting things in your house because you know you need a couch, so you just buy a couch, you know?
Exactly. So for the most part, it's just because people are thinking it's just like aesthetics.
Yeah.
It's just a way for things to look and
to look pretty.
Good.
Yeah.
But it's interesting because deep down, everyone does know that it affects how they feel.
Right.
But it's like
there's no connection.
There's just a disconnection.
What are some signs that you feel that maybe people have said about how they feel at home, how they feel when they leave home, or like, what are some things that people have said to you? They're like, you know, when I leave home, I feel this. Like, what are some things, some signs that you hear that like would make you be like, okay, we need to change this in your home?
Things like, well, when I get more like habit things.
Okay,
like when I get home, you know, I just want to kick my shit. I just want to, you know, relax, watch TV. I never want to cook when I get home. Things like that. So it's kind of, I mean, obviously they're working hard and things like and stuff. Or one of the biggest signs is when people, you know how you meet people and they just always want to be not at home.
Yes, they never want to be at home. They hate being at home.
I'm just lonely there.
Yes. Oh my God,
like,
yes. I hear that all the time.
I don't want to just sit there by myself. What am I going to do?
What am I supposed to do?
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that all the time.
Right.
Yes.
So often it's just like people just don't want to be home, or when they say that they can't relax at home, when they say they can't get anything done at home, it's a sign that something isn't aligned.
Something needs to change.
Especially
if you
because
don't.
It's our home.
It's your home. You live here.
You should. This is your sanctuary.
It's your sanctuary, especially if you're.
It's an expression of you.
It is. It's a huge expression of you. It's how your energy is recharged. It's how your energy literally is created. The first thing you do, first thing in the morning when you wake up, when you go to bed, like it is your sanctuary. I feel like it's like, it's just so important to have this space feel good and feel productive that I hate when I hear my friends say, like, I can't be at home. I don't want to be at home. I'm alone. I just hate sitting here. I'm just like, how do we change that? Because I can't wait to get home.
Yeah.
You know? And I always wonder, what was that makes you not feel like you don't want to be home, you know? Like, it stumps me. It stumps me, you know?
Because it doesn't feel like home.
It doesn't feel like home.
It doesn't feel like a home. And a lot of times, aside from aesthetics, it's really people just don't like to sit with themselves.
That's what it is, too. I think that's the deeper
it is.
issue. That's the deeper issue. You don't want to sit and hear yourself think.
The walls are loud.
Girl,
those walls
are
loud.
Especially, yes, they are absolutely loud, especially when you have been pushing things to the wall. Every time you come home, you just throw it on the wall. You're not really sitting with it. You're not digesting it. You're not understanding why you're feeling that way. So I think that is the deeper issue for sure.
And when it comes to, you know, like I said, I'm an intuitive. When it comes to the energetics.
Yeah.
You know, the times you've been sad, the times you've been lonely, depressed, your heartbreak, if you are not being proactive about clearing all of that, girl, it's just bouncing off those walls. And I can sometimes feel that stuff when I walk into people's spaces.
Oh, absolutely.
Like you know, you think you're in a good space, and then your energy in your home reminds you, and you can't, it's vibrating off of everything.
It is.
Because your heartbreak is still in there, your depression is still in there, your all of your grief is still just bouncing off of these walls because it's never been properly cleared.
That is so real. That is so real. That's so real. That's why they can't escape that feeling, because you're in it. You're in this. The energy is no joke, and it's just transferred, and it just stays in this space. What are some ways that you feel like you've given to your clients to help them cleanse the energy, whether it be spiritual or not? What are some ways that you've given to your clients to help them like cleanse their energy or get some of the stuff off the wall?
Get some of the stuff off the wall.
Without a therapist, of course.
So I, early on, I used to do home energy clearings, and people would come to me after breakups, especially in the new year.
Especially in the new year, yep.
But what people don't realize, especially with clutter, is stagnant energy.
Clutter, yep.
Stagnant energy just loves like sitting in old clothes, sitting in like things that you haven't touched in a while.
Yes.
Chaos is sitting in that pile of mail, like all of the
that you're ignoring. Girl, that just hit me. The chaos is sitting in the pile of mail.
Reminding you of all the things you have to do, and you're just like, ugh.
You see it every day. You look at that pile of mail, you're like, and then one day you may rearrange it and like, oh yeah, I'll get to that.
Yes.
So the chaos is in the mail.
The chaos is in the mail.
Girl.
It's in all of the things that you're closing these doors behind.
Yeah.
And so approaching spaces with intention.
Yeah.
And just, okay, where am I spending most of my time? What little corner can I clear out? And things like that. Just being proactive and facing it with intention is a huge thing.
Yeah.
Because you don't even have to be like all super woo-woo and do like the sound bowls, which I do, and to get energy cleared.
Right.
You know, we don't need the tools.
No.
Those when anyone is clearing energy or doing anything, the vessel is
all you need. You don't need all the extras. You don't.
So simply just like opening the windows, putting on some good music.
Yes, music is amazing.
Flowing good energy through your space. It doesn't have to be all that crazy and dramatic and meditations and things like that. Although for a lot of people it can.
It can, and that isn't powerful. But all you need is yourself and your vessel.
All you need is yourself and your intention. And a new perspective.
Yes. So let's talk about clutter, because I feel that clutter and stress go hand in hand. 100%. And like you said, it all sits in there when you haven't touched a certain particular part of your house for a long time, or a closet. What do you think is one thing that someone today can start cleaning out to maybe help them feel a little less stressed or overwhelmed when they're at home?
So we all have the corners. We all have things going on. I will definitely say closets and pantries.
Closets and pantries, yeah. Yep.
And just one at a time.
One at a time.
Doesn't have to be serious. Just one thing at closets and pantries, for sure. Do
you deal with people that have a struggle with letting go of stuff?
Oh, yes.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
And I'm such a girl, throw it away.
I'm a throw it away girl, too.
I'm a throw it away.
I'm
like, if I haven't looked for this within a year,
throw it. Toss
I
it.
don't even want to just. My mom will be like, "You didn't even go through that box." I'm like, "I haven't even. There's nothing in there. I don't even need to open it.
I don't even know what's in there, and I
I
don't
don't
need to know.
care. I haven't gone rummaging through this. Throw it all away.
Throw
I
it
don't
away.
need to know.
Yeah, you don't need to know. You don't need to know.
None of my business.
It's none of my
if I haven't
business.
looked for it a year and a half, and it's none of my business.
It's gone. I forget that one lady. We all know her. What's her name?
Oh, Kathy.
Kathy. Yeah, she was the organizing lady. If it doesn't give you joy, throw it out.
Yeah.
But like, also, if you haven't looked at it, throw it out.
Throw it out.
Like, how do you?
Things hold energy.
They hold energy. How do you talk about that with people that have a cluttered life, and you walk into their house and you feel it? You feel what they feel, and you're just like, okay,
It's hard.
It's hard because there's an emotional tie to a lot of objects.
There's an
Unfortunately,
100%.
it's emotional.
So I actually have a course called Life Design.
Ooh, yes, I can't wait to start talking about the courses. Oh my god!
And it's about intentionally like designing your life every single day, every single week.
Yep.
Like there's a focus and all of this.
I love that.
And one of them in particular is throwing things out and
Oh.
decluttering life.
Oh my
But
gosh.
it all comes back to emotion,
Yes,
right?
it's
Like
emotional.
I understand like if someone passed and you have this special thing for them, but a lot of times we are tied to these emotions. We're tied to these things because of how they used to make us feel.
Yep.
Things like that. We're scared. Well, what if I want it again? What
Yeah.
if I need it again?
Yeah.
And I always say like that memory, that energy, it's all within you.
Yes, it is absolutely.
And a lot of times people are tied to things that can make them sad or that are attached to their past.
Absolutely.
And,
and
I'm like,
they want to
how are you
look
gonna
at
move
it
forward when it's physically sitting there? It's
Yeah.
one thing to sit within you and to have it and to carry it, but you're giving too much power to things. And so that's a lot of times like people are giving their power away to things.
to objects,
To
to
objects
things
that
that you
do
literally
not
can
matter.
buy again.
Absolutely.
Like it's an object. It has no space
Right.
in your spiritual life. It shouldn't.
It shouldn't. And it's really about disconnecting from things.
Yes.
Disconnection and
Yes.
not being so tied to things.
To
and
material items.
To material items.
Yep.
Your
Yep.
life isn't really going to change without this thing.
It's not. And I think especially right now, I feel like we're living in a consumer world. We're over consuming
so attached.
everything.
Over-consuming
Over-consuming
everything.
everything. It makes me sick.
I even,
these
like,
videos,
start-
these unboxing videos, I'm just like,
it makes me
15
sick.
bags? You bought 15 handbags? Like, why? Like,
It's sickening.
so many clothes.
The
so many
Amazon
shoes.
influencers,
The Amazon
unfollow
influencers.
them all.
Yeah, that's too much.
It's too
that's
much.
too much. We don't need that much stuff.
We don't
need that much stuff. There's no reason you should have 15 pairs of jeans. Like, you can only wear one at a time unless someone has figured out another way, but you can only wear one at a time. Like, I feel like the more that I started throwing things away and the more I started having less of things, the happier I was.
For sure. The happier I got.
I was so much happier. I'm like, I don't need all this. I can wear it until I can't wear it anymore. And then I'll throw it away. And then if I need it, I'll buy it. But like this generation, I don't even know if it's this generation. It's just where we are right now with online, with capitalism.
It's late-stage capitalism.
It's literally capitalism, girl.
It's
capitalism.
A sickness.
And they're doing it on purpose, like you said. The messaging, the feels, the looks, the colors, the sound when you go shopping, the music that's playing in all these stores. There is a reason it's very intentional, and I think that these large brands are obviously intentionally wanting us to buy without even having any kind of feeling towards it. Those impulse buys, those are the best. Those are the favorite ones for these companies because you don't think about it. You just like, oh, it was $10. Who cares? But it takes space in your space, and that is the issue with over consuming.
And none of it is even quality.
None of it is quality. That's the issue. These fast fashion sites, I mean, don't get me wrong, they're cute and I love it, but like, it's not gonna last you. And why just have stuff? And I'm always trying to go back to like that thought process of having too much. And of course, I'm sure there's a lot of trauma because there was a time where you had nothing.
Yeah.
And I get that. I get having a time in your life where you had nothing, and so now you can afford everything, so you buy. But it's just how can we get out of that mindset and really start understanding that what you are purchasing has energy, especially depending on where you're purchasing it at, and that's coming in your home. How are you changing that line so where it's like you're not always buying something just to feel like you have more. And I feel like that's what it is. A lot of times it's just to have more, because I see it and I'm just like, these shelves. I mean, the makeup girlies, when I see the girls open up the makeup
It's
influencers,
insane.
It's insane. And it's just, that's
I think
wild to
social
me.
media has a lot to do with it as
Of
well.
course, absolutely.
When it comes to all fashion.
All fashion.
Even
All fashion.
interior design, because
Yes.
interior design is essentially just an extension of the fashion industry.
It absolutely
so
is.
you have all these influencers with these homes.
Yes. Oh my gosh.
And they're big and they're this and they're always
massive.
changing things. And
Yeah.
I'm changing my floor. It's always something.
Yeah.
And then the same thing is going on with the fashion girlies.
Yeah.
And like the more.
Yeah.
And we are comparing ourselves to all of these people online.
Yeah.
Who essentially they're doing this for numbers and they're probably getting paid. in
They're
some
probably
way.
getting
This
paid
is
for
their
it.
job.
Absolutely.
And we're comparing ourselves not only with these influencers, but I feel like in terms of home
Yeah.
and overconsumption, like even like the days of like when the Kardashians.
Yes.
They opened their homes to us. Everybody's home started to look like theirs.
Everyone
big
started to look like
furniture,
theirs.
everything,
The white, the
clothes,
marble.
the marble,
Yep,
everything.
yep.
So we're not just comparing ourselves to like what's that saying? Comparing yourself to the Joneses or
Yeah,
whatever.
keeping up with the Joneses.
Keeping up with the Joneses.
Yep,
Now
yep.
it's all these people.
Yeah.
And it was never supposed to be like that.
It was never supposed to be like that.
And they're making it normalized. Like you need this.
You need this. And
Everybody has to have this.
And
so
if you
now
don't
wanna,
have it-
wear the same shirt twice, and every time you vacation, you need a new outfit because
Girl.
that is what social media. That's what people are doing. So
That's
it
what
has
they're
a lot
showing
to
us.
do with obviously the influence, but again, like just comparing yourselves
Yeah.
to everyone, and people aren't stopping and asking themselves questions.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
We don't ask ourselves, real questions.
Do I really
anymore.
need this?
Yeah.
I have plenty of bathing suits. Why am I buying another bathing
Yeah,
suit?
because now in general, everybody, even if you have 200 followers, 50,000, there is this idea of always being seen
Yeah,
because we're on social media.
on social media. Yep.
So you have to have it be seen a different way.
Right.
I got to have this. I can't be seen in this.
Yeah.
There's just this idea of being seen versus
Yeah.
what you actually need.
Especially the wearing things twice. That really hit me
Ridiculous.
because
Girl,
that
I will
is I will overwear.
overwear.
It
Like,
doesn't
I've been wearing
matter.
This shirt. Oh,
Yeah, who cares? it's like who really cares?
who really cares?
Because like
Nobody cares.
nobody cares, and no one's gonna remember. If
Nobody's
someone
gonna
is on your
remember.
page like that, they're like, "Oh, she wore
my
this
God, you wore
6
that?
weeks ago." Trash.
Trash.
Unfollow. Like
Don't
if that's
care.
the case,
then I want you to go.
please unfollow me.
Please unfollow.
Please unfollow me because that is so unnecessary, and people are going broke
I know.
trying to keep up with the Joneses and all the people online
Yeah.
who we don't even know what their actual bank account looks
Yeah.
like, you know?
Yeah.
And we don't even know what their space feels like. It doesn't
Yeah.
matter how big it is. The bigger, in my opinion, the less homey it feels.
Okay, you know what's funny? After all these beautiful spaces I've seen from
Yeah.
years of this, the more I'm in design, the less I want.
Really?
The smaller home I want.
Oh, I get
the
that.
less I want.
The less stuff. Yeah,
the less
minimalistic.
Stuff. I'm just like
Yep.
the least. I don't even dream of having like this big beautiful home with all the less I want, the more I see like people dealing with things.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
they deal with it in such an emotional way that you're
Yeah.
just like, that is not fun, you know?
it's not fun.
And I feel like having a house with 10 bedrooms, not only is that so expensive to upkeep, but like, how do you feel home there? It's just
Yeah.
emptiness, you know? Especially if the 10 bedrooms aren't filled. Like,
Yeah.
you know.
Exactly. There are homes that I have where they have these big families, and they're like, it's very important during holidays, and you know, their families are coming home, their grandkids
That
are running
makes
around,
sense.
things like that I get.
That makes
But
sense.
some people just have stuff, and they just have to buy more because they have this space.
Right.
And they're just filling space that we never even come in here,
Yes.
but we have to make it look beautiful. And
Right.
I'm like, wow.
I get that. I definitely have started realizing that I want my home to be smaller.
Yeah.
And like you said, very intentional with the design.
Yeah.
It does not need to be massive. I
Yeah.
don't care. I don't even plan on really. I don't know
know.
about the kid thing. Who knows?
And I hate to say it, but I've witnessed a lot of people who are house rich and like life poor. You know?
Absolutely.
And they just, and out from the outside, they have these beautiful cars and this big, beautiful home and all of these things, but it's like, there's no life being lived in there.
No life, emptiness. They feel empty. They don't want to be there. They always are having people over to make it feel like it's a homey, environment. Wow, yeah, that is a whole other part of the interior designing and people creating a space for themselves.
Yeah.
What are some things that you feel that would actually help someone change their life, like a very simple change that someone could do today that would help them change their space?
Well, I know we already talked about
The lighting, yes.
clutter.
Declutter, yeah, declutter.
Clutter
yes.
is a huge thing.
Yeah.
But
what if they're
also-
like, this isn't clutter?
Yeah.
Let's go. If the people who don't think that's clutter, let's go on to another thing that they can change if they don't think that's clutter.
So I would invite them to ask themselves questions.
Yeah.
Get inquisitive with yourself. You know, whether it be your space, whether it be self-growth, asking questions, thinking about really sitting in your space. How do I feel in here?
Yeah.
How do I want to feel? Why does my home look like this?
Right.
A lot of times people design and decorate their homes because they feel like that's what it should look like,
Right.
current trends, versus how they really want it. Some people are living in like places of beige and grays and all this, but they're actually very colorful individuals.
Right.
But they just don't trust it because no one else's house is colorful.
Yeah.
So
that's very
is
true.
this really what I want?
Is this
Let
what
me
I want?
ask myself questions.
Yes.
Does this reflect my personal style?
Right.
And the life that I want to live?
Yes. Do I feel good here?
Yes.
Ask yourself those questions, guys.
yourself questions.
Ask the questions.
Get inquisitive.
Get inquisitive. Be curious. Be curious. What is one mistake you think almost everyone makes when creating a home they love?
They design for other people.
Or what's in style.
Or what's in style.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
okay to, you don't want anything outdated, but they design for other people and how they're going to be perceived and how it's going to be perceived.
How it's going to be perceived by the people coming in. Yeah, I can see how that being a mistake. It's not about the people coming in. It's about
not about the
you.
people coming in.
Who is in this home.
And there's ways that you can include, trends
Yeah.
and things that are modern in today's design with also infusing your personality. People don't want to put their personality in their home.
They
and
don't.
I just think it's crazy.
It's crazy. No, it is.
I mean, people are like, you're still, like, why don't you?
Why don't you have some color? Why don't you have some color in your home?
But a lot of times they just don't trust themselves.
They don't. And that's why they have you.
Yeah,
That's why they have
they
interior
me.
designers.
Yes,
That
yes.
is why. Okay, now let's talk about your interior designing career. What does it take to hire you? Let's get into that. We don't have to talk numbers, but if you want to, whatever you're comfortable with, but what does it take to hire an interior designer? Because for me, my thought was always this very expensive ordeal. Like, this person is coming in, and from the shows I see, they pick out the furniture for you. You kind of go through this whole process with them. But talk to me about hiring you as an interior designer.
So now that I work for myself and I have my own business.
Congrats.
Thank
Isn't
you.
it so nice?
Yay! Girl, it's hard.
Yeah, it's hard. It's no joke.
It's
no
hard,
joke,
but
yeah.
it's okay.
It's okay.
So alignment is huge.
Okay.
Not every I'm not going to be for everyone.
No, you're not.
Every designer is going to be for everyone.
That's
and
true.
that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
But now that I have my own business, I'm able to take on projects that I want in terms of every single scale. And so whether you're looking for a full remodel, a full scale design, or just refreshing your space,
Yeah.
design can actually be very accessible. There's different ways and different terms of payment and ways to go about things.
Yeah.
And when hiring a good designer and being honest with yourself, your finances, like if you have a certain investment amount in mind, which you have to know.
You have to have
This is
that.
the
That's
thing.
number one. Yeah, let's talk about it.
The investment amount, because there's so many
Yeah.
different places.
Yeah.
And we can go to Home Goods. Well, I go to Home Goods for everybody.
I love
period.
Home Goods. Yeah, Home Goods is amazing.
But there's
Home Goods is
so
amazing.
you have to know an investment amount.
Yep. Okay.
First and foremost. And again, I'm willing to take on projects of all scale and all size,
Yeah.
as long as they're aligned. And I feel like I can make your dreams come true
Yeah.
with you.
With you. It's
With
a collaboration.
you.
It's a
'cause
collaboration.
I'm not putting of course I'm going to add my expertise
Yeah.
and all of that, but I'm not putting, my style in there.
Right.
I want you to be honest with yourself, figure what you want out,
Mm-hmm.
but of course you have to be aligned with how much you are willing to spend. 'Cause
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it could be.
It adds up. Oh my God.
There's a lot of decisions that go on, a lot of sourcing,
Absolutely.
a lot of time,
A lot of time.
and you got to really be ready to commit.
Yeah. Do you prefer a clean slate, like a home that has nothing in it, or you are redesigning someone else's home that already has everything in it? What's your favorite? Like, what really gets you geeked?
I personally love when people have things that mean a lot to them already.
Okay.
I want to incorporate this.
Okay.
I have this that I just love, things that have stories, things that are old, things that have been passed on.
Yes,
So,
antiques.
yes.
Ugh.
So I love when people love things already.
Yeah.
When they have, whether it just be one thing that we want to work around, a piece of artwork, but I do love
a clean slate sounds so fun.
I love a clean slate.
That sounds so fun.
I love a clean slate.
Yeah, but you also love
both. But it's also amazing when you're working with things that people already have and still being able to make a huge impact. And just through things like, you know, rearranging furniture, intentional floor planning, spatial design, color changes, lighting.
So many things.
You know, it really just depends.
It's so crazy.
I love a clean slate.
I love a clean slate too. I can see that being fun. It's crazy what like knocking out a wall will do, or heightening, making some walls taller. Like the little small things. What was that show back in the day where they would change up their entire house? Not Home Improvement. Redo My Home. Something.
Like
where they change.
Renovate.
They like change their entire house, like, or just one particular room, and they would reveal it to them, and they would come in the room.
Oh,
they were
yes.
"Oh my God, this doesn't even look like the same."
They would
room.
like move out.
Yeah. They would move the truck or something.
They'd move the truck.
The van.
Yes.
That was one of my favorite shows because
I love stuff like that.
Me too. That transformation, that look on their face, they're like, "This is not even the same." You know, the same thing.
It's not even the same thing.
Okay, favorite room to design. Bathroom, bedroom, you can only pick one. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen, or their little sanctuary room, like we said, their little individual space. What is your absolute favorite, hands down room to decorate or to design?
Living room.
A living room? Yes. Why is that?
A living room, because it's so like multi-purpose.
Yeah.
You know, you really have to learn people's lifestyles, how they move about a space, how often they entertain, who's going to be over. Do people need special accommodations? Like, oh, my grandfather comes over a lot. You know, we can't have too low of seating. Our kids running around. Like you have to really think about people's lifestyles in a multi-purpose room. And that's just the best thing is to really like, because when you're done, you're putting certain things in there, and then you're explaining, well, I added this because I know the kids like to sit on the floor and do their homework. So now these ottomans are here that you could scoot underneath. This rolls away. So really adding the function of how a family or people move through a space in one room. And I feel like a family room is really where that all gets to come together.
It all comes together there. And I'm sure you learned about that so much when you were in school. How long was the schooling?
It was 2 years.
Nice. Yes, okay. That's a short period of time in the whole hindsight of life. You know, that's a good
but
amount
a
of time.
lot more learning after that.
I'm sure you learn everything in the field, like most schooling. 100%. You don't learn most of your knowledge.
No, it's all in the field.
It's all after.
And having a good mentor.
Yes. How was it finding your mentor? Did you find them after school?
Yes. Well, I found my mentor kind of like just on accident, really.
Amazing.
And it's interesting because my particular mentor, shout out to Rodney.
Shout out.
He's the most talented person.
Okay, Rodney?
Rodney.
Shout out, Rodney.
He's got the juice.
Ooh.
The juice and the squeeze, and he's so amazing.
We love that.
And he is actually, it sounds so simple, but he was the first person who saw greatness in me in terms of design, because he was the first person that I got close to with who knew design.
Amazing.
And was passionate about it.
Yes.
And I could actually speak to about it, and he knew exactly what I was talking about.
Yep.
And what was so great about him is he was willing to teach me everything he knew.
Amazing.
Because he was like, you have it, you got to train it. And he saw it, and he, unlike some people are like, figure it out on your own.
Right, totally.
But he was the first person who met me when I was really new into personal training, into design.
Yes.
I haven't really worked in the field yet. I just got out of school, and I was like going back and forth. I'm like, I have these two passions now, and which one do I do?
Yeah. And
I remember so simply, he said, girl, do both.
Do both.
And it was so simple.
Yeah.
And I was just like, do both?
Yeah. Yeah. I can do that?
Do both?
You mean do both?
And it was it just awoken something in me. I'm like, I can do both. Of course, life is not always going to be balanced. You're going to be putting more energy into something during certain times of life. But look at me now.
You're doing both. Yes, I love that. I love that. You can do both. We can do anything we want.
Yeah.
We can do it, but it always takes that one person to turn on the light bulb and be like, You just said it. You can do both. You don't have to pick.
Yeah.
You don't have to pick. That is so incredible. I think that is why having a mentor is so important.
So important.
In life, because they see something that you just don't see sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
And they make
we
things
need
so
each other.
clear. We need each other. We cannot do this alone.
We cannot do this
cannot
alone.
do
We're
this
all
alone.
meant to, you know, they always say no one is coming to save you, but people are coming to guide you.
They're coming to guide you. That is absolutely true. I
you
love that.
gotta save yourself, but people are coming to help.
They're there to guide you.
People are
They're
here
sent.
coming to guide
They're
you.
sent to guide you.
Yes.
I 100% believe that. I love that. That is a different perspective because the guidance is what we need. We don't need to be saved.
No.
You have to save yourself.
You have to save yourself.
And let someone else guide you and show you how to get out. That's beautiful. I love that. I love that. Okay, we're ending on our last couple questions. How has designing space changed the way you live your own life?
It's made me more intentional and being open to it's made me very grateful too. What I love about design and what has really changed me at my core about it is the vulnerability of seeing people's homes.
Yeah.
It's a very intimate thing.
It is very intimate.
How people interact in their homes, how they live, their lifestyle. It's their home.
Yes.
And I take it very sacredly.
Good.
And just being open to the way people live, being open to, you know, how people move throughout their space, how they interact with their families. It's made me be more intentional about my life, and it helps me to learn and to interact with my own family, to interact with my own space. And being in such an intimate part of people's homes, it really just makes you be more intentional about life and everything.
Yeah, I can see that making you more softer somewhat.
Yeah.
Not on the edges, not softer, but like more empathy towards people and understanding who they
You never know
are.
what's going on in people's homes.
You never know. You literally never know until you're in there and you see it. And then you still don't really know. You know what I mean? So I think that's beautiful that's changed your outlook on the way that you live your own life, because I think that a lot of the work that we should be doing should help us feel or be better versions of ourselves.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to do just stuff because it's a paycheck. I want to feel something from it.
Absolutely. I want to feel something from it.
I want to feel something, like, geez, make me feel something. When someone finishes listening to this episode and walks into their home tonight, what's one thing you hope they notice that they've never noticed before?
I'm going to say it again, how they feel.
How they feel when they walk in the room?
So important.
What
Yes,
what do you feel when you walk into this room?
What do you feel when you walk into this room? And is this aligned with who you want to be? Not who you are now, but your best version of yourself.
Yeah.
That healthiest version. Whatever it is you are going to achieve, does your environment reflect that and support it?
Yeah. And it's like, I feel like I talk about this a lot on this podcast, is that every decision we're making now is to become the next version of yourself.
Yes.
That is the whole purpose. Every day it should be going towards that. And I feel like for me, a lot of visualizations, I hope people are looking at Pinterest, looking at homes on Pinterest and looking at that, because I feel like that helps you kind of picture where you want your life to be. Because a lot of times I feel, although we know what we want, we don't know what that looks like.
Yes.
You don't know what it looks like to be a healthier version of yourself. You don't know what your home is going to look like when you are that healthier version.
Yes.
And so I always like to tell people visualizations, and use the internet for that reason.
Yes.
Pinterest for that reason.
Yes.
Look at homes and see if, like, when you look at a home on Pinterest, you're like, wow, I want to feel that way when I look at my home. You know,
Yep.
like, I feel like that's a good starter.
It's a great starter, because it's all feeling is a seed. Because even though you don't know how you're going to get to that next level, the identity shift starts with how you want to feel. I want to feel clear-headed. I want to feel confident.
Yes.
I want to feel connected to God, to you, whatever you want. All of that is a feeling, and then everything else comes after that.
Yep.
And it's the same thing with personal growth.
Yeah.
Figure out how you want to feel, not how you want to look, what do you want to wake up every day and feel within yourself?
Yes.
And it's the same thing. How do you want to feel in this space? And then everything will start to come later on.
Yeah.
You'll have a clearer version of where you're going when you understand how you want to feel.
Yeah, it starts with that. It starts with your feelings, and then you can start kind of working. And I feel like whoever you believe in, God, the universe, I believe in God, and I feel like God will always give you what you need.
God will always give you what you need.
He will always, he does it, you know, he
single
does it every
time.
single time. And I feel that especially when you are asking for that from him, he already knows what we need, but especially when you ask for it, I feel that he gives it to you in all these wild ways that you would have never expected.
And to receive those, you have to create space.
You have to create space.
Physically.
That is what he talks about.
Create the space
Create
to
the
hear,
space. Yep.
to learn, to receive. You have to create space.
You have to create space. I love that. That's what it is creating the space, because God is not going to give you what you need if you're busy dealing with the old you, old house, old clutter. Like, he's not going to give you that. I remember my dad always saying, take care of what God is giving you now so that he can bless you.
Absolutely.
With more.
Absolutely.
You know, who cares what kind of car you ride in? Who cares what your house looks like? It doesn't matter if you live in a shed. Make that the cleanest shed ever.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Like, I want what God wants for me.
I want what God wants for me.
Every single time.
Every time.
And, you know,
I love that.
Yeah, I want what God wants for me every single time.
I love that.
And I always say I give thanks and I am grateful ahead of time. And I show that by being prepared for the blessings. It's one thing to ask for the blessings and to know that they're coming, but can you withhold it? Can you sustain it? What God has on your way?
Can you sustain it?
So
yes.
Being grateful in advance through preparation.
Yes.
Like, I'm ready when you are.
Ready, I'm
gonna be able
I'm getting prepared
to be a good steward of my blessing.
Yes, a good steward of your blessing. That is so deep, being ready.
And even before I do anything, I ask for God, and
Me too.
I ask to be a vessel. Even in my car, before I text you, I sat there, God, what will you have me say? What will you have me do?
I love that.
I do not worry about the words that I will say, because I know you will give me the clear
You're speaking
communication.
through.
Like,
He's
all of
speaking
that.
through us.
Absolutely. I'm decorating homes, but this is God's work.
He is doing it through you.
Yes.
You are just the vessel that he is using to share his word and share his spirit and share his energy through other people's home, whether they believe or not. It's in there.
Believe it or not. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, this was so
much fun.
I'm so happy.
I can yap about this for hours.
I could yap about this for hours too, and I love talking about interior designing and helping people create the space that is most conducive for their learning, for their growth, for their life. Like, I loved talking about this. Thank you so much, Yvette, for being here with me. This was so fun. I'll, of course, share your Instagram for personal fitness and for, of course, the interior designing. All of it will be shared.
Yay!
You can say it too.
Oh, I can say it now.
Go ahead.
Okay,
Let's
so my business is Intuitive Interiors. I have an Instagram, intuitiveinteriors_. And then my overall wellness, you'll also see design stuff there, is Yvette Justina.
Yes. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, we are signing out. Thank you again for being here. As always, take care of yourself, show yourself some grace, and be kind to yourself. We love you, and we'll see you on the next episode. Bye.